Drunk driving is a crime, but what kind of test should a person pulled over for take while they're intoxicated to consent to taking? What kind of those tests should they consent to? That question is the reason thousands of Minnesota DWI arrests remain in limbo. And Fox 9's Jeff Passel finds out the answer from Minnesota's leading expert on drunk driving laws.
You talk about an eye-opening stat. According to the State Patrol, 1 out of every 8 Minnesotans has a DWI on their record. And right now, thousands of DWI cases are being held up contesting the scientific reliability of first void urine alcohol tests in Minnesota. The only state in the country using that test, maybe the world, in fact, to use what's known as FVAT. Chuck Ramsay is a DWI attorney and the lead counsel for these source code cases in Minnesota. Chuck, thanks for joining us here. There are thousands of people out there whose lives are in limbo over this. Some have lost their license, others their job. Why is this taking so long to get to a final resolution?
Well, the Supreme Court had an opportunity to put an end to this last month, but they chose to sidestep it because the case they were looking at that point didn't have enough facts for it to review.
Well, you say the urine test is no good. Other critics are saying that alcohol concentration doesn't always reflect a person's blood alcohol level. Can you explain how that works?
That's true. Because it's first void urine alcohol testing, or FVAT, the amount of alcohol concentration in urine does not reflect the amount of alcohol concentration in a person's blood. What happens is the body metabolizes alcohol from the blood. And what it does is it doesn't just send this alcohol off into space. The kidneys remove the alcohol from the blood and deposit it in a person's urine as waste. And it remains there until a person voids their bladder.
But the facts do show DWI charges are the most likely to be fought in court. Many convictions are appealed and many overturned. Why does it seem so difficult to get drunk drivers off the road with a foolproof process?
Well, this is not a foolproof process with urine testing. That is the problem. A person's urine alcohol concentration can be well over the legal limit while they have zero alcohol in their blood. And as long as the state continues to use scientific tests like this, junk science, drivers will continue to fight their arrest for DWI. Minnesota continues to use urine tests. In fact, last year, 10,000 cases in DWIs, about 35 to 40%, they used urine. And, not only is urine testing bad because it convicts people who pose no threat to the public safety at all, but in other cases it allows people who have a blood alcohol concentration over the legal limit to go undetected and because of urine alcohol testing.
Well, why does Minnesota keep using it then?
That's a great question, Jeff. I don't know why Minnesota continues to stand alone and use this junk science. I think it's because some people believe that it's good enough for these purposes. The problem is there are thousands of people who are erroneously arrested, convicted, lose their licenses, and get stamped with the scarlet letter of drunk driver because of this junk science.
So what advice do you have for somebody who's stuck in this kind of scenario out there?
Well, if they're ever arrested for DWI, they absolutely should not take a urine test. They should ask for a blood test. And to the state of Minnesota, I would say quit using urine testing. Don't stand alone. Do what is right and use blood alcohol testing.
And as always, as we said earlier, you know what? The easiest way around all of it is just don't drink and drive.
That's right, Jeff.
All right, Chuck Ramsay, thanks so much for your time tonight.
Thank you, Jeff.